This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
As we approach the Memorial Day weekend, we have some safety tips from PennDOT and a preview of the big parade in West Hazleton. Thank you all for your time on this Friday Eve. I'm Ken Kara, and let me tell you, life is better in HD. Watch this show on Service Electric Cablevision Channel 513 to see what I'm talking about. Right now, we're going to our headlines from SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. Hazel Township Fire and Rescue crews responded to a crash involving a car and a train. It happened in the Humboldt Industrial Park this morning near Maplewood Drive. At least one person was reported to be trapped inside the car. For updates, go to standardspeaker.com or facebook.com/SSPTV News. Two people were killed in a four-vehicle crash yesterday afternoon in Schuylkill County. It happened on Interstate 81 northbound at mile marker 121. Traffic was slowing at the time due to a construction zone ahead. Two of the vehicles became totally engulfed in flames. Two people inside the Nissan Rogue pickup truck were pronounced dead at the scene. Many people will be traveling this weekend for the Memorial Day holiday. Lisa Sugar gets some safety tips from PennDOT.
Well, this is the big Memorial Day weekend, and that means a lot of people hitting the highways. Here to tell us how to stay safe this weekend and all summer long is Mike Toludo. He is the safety press officer for PennDOT. Mike, we want the travelers safe not only this weekend, but all the time, right?
Well, there's going to be a lot more travelers on the road this year, so we want you to prepare before you go out. A couple things are do not text and drive. Make sure you buckle up. And if you're taking children, make sure they're in the proper child safety seat. And you could also check 511 PA, so you could make your plans where there, if there's any traffic issues. But one good thing is during the holiday, we do not do any construction on the roads. So construction and 2 lanes will be open on the major highways.
All right, so that's good to know as well. So for Memorial Day, hopefully we get through that very safely. However, you have some other things you want to talk about with the warm weather upon us. One being alternative transportation. So what's that all about?
Well, PennDOT is pushing an alternative transportation such as bicycles, motorcycles, public transportation. So bicycle is an important thing this year. We want to make sure that people are safe on their bikes. So last year they had 19 accidents, fatalities in Pennsylvania due to bicycles. So we want to prevent, it is preventable. If you're out there on the bike, you wear light colored clothing and reflective clothing. Also wear a helmet, and in Pennsylvania, if you're under 12, you have to have a helmet. And also ride on the right side of the road, and also give your intentions to the driver in advance. Now for motorists, they have to stay 4 feet away from the bicycle, and if they need to, they can shift over into across the yellow line if it's safe to let the bicycle pass. And one good thing that through our work that we're trying to, in northeastern Pennsylvania, some of the major cities, we're trying to get bike lanes. So right now, Lackawanna County and Luzerne County and possibly Hazleton, they're doing research on, and studies on the possibility of adding bike lanes to the major downtowns.
I'm always nervous when I see a bike. I'm always slowing down, and you do get concerned because heaven forbid you get in an accident. You don't want that to happen. So great advice for people who are out there either on the bicycle or the people in the car seeing the bicycle. But you're also encouraging people to take alternative transportation in addition to bikes. So there's a committee you said was formed?
Yeah, in Scranton and Lackawanna County, northeastern Pennsylvania, we formed a committee called Equitable Transportation Committee, and we're trying to make public transportation, alternative transportation user-friendly. So in the future, we'll be studying ways to maybe we need to add additional bus routes for public transportation, or maybe some routes need to be changed around and timing. So there's a lot of things going on in that to make it public transportation, alternative transportation user-friendly.
I hope people are listening. There is always the PennDOT app as well, so they can go to that for more information. Keep that handy. That always gives me little directions on what's going on.
Yeah, that's 511 PA. And that'll tell you when we're getting to the busy construction season, that'll tell you where the construction is.
All right, well, great advice. Thanks, Mike, for coming in. You guys are always very helpful. I hope you follow Mike's advice so you can stay safe out there this summer.
Thank you, Lisa. Speaking of Memorial Day, many communities will host parades on Monday. We stopped by the West Hazleton Municipal Building recently as organizers were putting the finishing touches on their annual event.
Well, it's going to be a very large parade. We have fire companies, rescue squads, we have the West Hazleton Rec, Crime Watch, we have Little League, We have veterans, a lot of veterans, and dignitaries, and we have General Joseph's going to be our main speaker. We have the parade that starts at 9 o'clock. After the parade, we go to the monument, the World War II monument, and all the guest speakers give their speeches. And after that's all over, then we come to the building here, and we have a luncheon for all the veterans and the guest speakers. It's a private luncheon.
Well, I'm a Korean veteran. I was on the Wisconsin, Battleship Wisconsin, and I went through boot camp, Bainbridge, Maryland, went down and got my ship at Norfolk, Virginia, and we went right over the Panama Canal, over the equator, and right to Korea. We relieved the New Jersey, USS New Jersey. The Korean War started in 1950 and was over in 1953. And that's about it. That's what it's all about. The Korean War, I must say, is called the Forgotten War. But I, as an old sailor, will not forget it.
Again, the West Hazelton Parade will begin at 9 a.m. on Monday. In other news, Lehigh Valley Hospital issued a statement today in regards to staffing changes at its hospital in Hazelton. Spokesman Brian Downs issued the statement, which read, quote, "We value our colleagues. It is difficult when industry conditions require adjustments that affect people. As the national model for healthcare delivery is changing, we are seeing a shift from inpatient to outpatient care. In addition, Lehigh Valley Hazelton is facing difficulties in retaining and recruiting physicians like many other rural hospitals, which is having an impact on patient volume," on quote. According to the statement, staffing is being adjusted to meet patient volume and will not impact safety or quality. You can read the statement on our Facebook page. Well, each Thursday you have a chance to win a box of 12 slices of Frankie's Cold Pizza with their signature sauce and cheese blend, baked fresh with no preservatives. Call 570-459-9813 extension 104. Leave your name and number. The winner will be drawn at random. Frankie's Express will soon be resuming their cold pizza door-to-door service. I really hope you can hang out for the rest of the show because Dave Seaman from the Hazelton Standard Speaker is here, and we'll discuss the state track and field championships and so much more. After this break, Charles McElwee from the Greater Hazelton Historical Society and Museum will discuss our area's connection to World War I. This is SSPTV News, your source for 24 hours of your hometown news and information.
This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazelton Standard Speaker.
It's good to have our good friend Charles McElwee back in our studios again. He is a member of the Board of Directors for the Greater Hazelton Historical Society and Museum, always bringing us little tidbits of history from days gone by here in our area. And today you want to focus on, I guess, World War I history in the city of Hazelton, specifically Hazelton City Hall.
If you enter City Hall in the lobby, you'll look on the left-hand side, you'll see a memorial, a tribute to those soldiers in Hazelton who fought in World War I. This year marks the 100th anniversary of the U.S. entry into the war. President Woodrow Wilson at the time, April 1917, appeared before Congress and requested to begin military warfare against Germany. Germany was not abiding by its pledge to cease unrestricted submarine warfare, and that necessitated our entry into that war. And it's a war that continues to haunt us. It's a very consequential period of American history, and it was really in 1914 when Europe broke out in war, that summer that really changed everything, the course of the 20th century, that we actually had a mayor with ties to Europe. James Harvey, who was from England. He was Cornish. He lived on Vine Street. He was a miner as a child, and he had become a long-term elected official in Hazelton. And during the war, throughout the course of the military operations, Harvey would lay out maps of Europe on the table in the mayor's office and follow the course of the war. he was obviously pulling for Great Britain to prevail against Germany. And it's really a tribute to Hazelton's role, whether we see those who served in the entrance of City Hall, or even a book by William Bachman that came out shortly thereafter called the Triple the Delta 11. And really, it's a war we tend to forget. 115,000 Americans were killed, and that's more than all the conflicts post-World War II, Korea, Vietnam, all those conflicts combined. And it's a war that continues to shape our geopolitics. And Hazelton certainly had its share of men who fought during that period.
Well, it's amazing that that tribute is in City Hall, and oftentimes we walk by and we don't realize the significance of what transpired.
We don't. And when you look at the modern map, even of the Middle East, when obviously we are engaged in Iraq, Syria, Somalia, Yemen, Afghanistan, but really the modern map of the Middle East was a consequence of first the collapse of colonial empires, and second the Sykes-Picot Agreement, which created the boundaries of the modern Middle East. So all the military conflicts that we see today are indirectly or directly a result of our presence, our entry into World War I. America really shaped the international world order, and like the Iraq War at the time, it was a war that was more popular than it was in hindsight. And clearly, the unpopularity of that war would be understandable considering what happened after that war. We slipped into a depression, and then we entered a Second World War that combined, in the first half of the 20th century, over 100 million people were killed. So when we look at that history, when we look at that barbarity, it's not that long ago. And I think it's appropriate that when you enter City Hall, we're reminded to not forget, and that it's a war that continues to follow us and shape the modern map of the world.
Absolutely. Another historical event that maybe many people were not familiar with. Thank you, Charles, for enlightening us on that. And if you want to know more about the Greater Hazelton Historical Society, you can stop by for a visit, or you can check them out on Facebook.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
Check out the clouds moving in over the Equestrian Center at Eagle Rock Resort. Here's a local forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight, 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Our low will be 55 degrees. Friday, 40% chance of showers before 8 a.m. Mostly cloudy day, high of 66. At night, we're down to 52 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. For the next day, on Saturday, partly sunny, high of 71. At night, low of 56. Sunday, 60% chance of showers, mostly cloudy, high of 70. Sunday night, we're down to 56 degrees, same chance of showers. Memorial Day, we do have a 50% chance of showers, high of 72. And then at night, 30% chance of showers, low in the mid-50s.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Valley High Food Drive-In, the area's oldest ice cream and fast food restaurant. We're open weekdays 3:30 to 8 p.m. Stop by for our ice cream and yogurt, now featuring fat-free, no sugar-added soft frozen yogurt with flavors like vanilla, strawberry, and strawberries and cream. We also have burgers, hot dogs, fries, and much more. That's Valley High, Route 93 in West Hazelton, and like us on Facebook.
Well, if you don't like to cook, I have the perfect solution. You can have your parties catered here from Sand Springs. I do it often, and I even do it when I'm going to Little League games because it's very convenient and it's very affordable. I'm here with Tracy Ackerman to tell you all about the catering services that Sand Springs has to offer. So thanks for having us in.
Thank you for being here. For our catering options, we do have a variety of food menu. Food items, shall I say, and we offer delicious homemade food. And what you can do is we have so many different types of pasta entrees, chicken entrees, meat entrees. So there is such a variety that you can choose from, and so we have something for everybody.
So you do the picnic style food like the hamburgers and hot dogs, but you also offer other more elaborate meals if that's what they would need.
Yes, we do. And we can come to your house and drop everything off. We do deliver the food, and we can come to, say, your corporate office and cater a business meeting, or even have come to one of your factories and set up everything, and then that way your employees can come through the line when they're on their break, and we'll take care of everything for you.
I'm so last minute with planning these things. So again, it's nice to know that you only need 48 hours notice. If you are in a bind and you're like, oh, I need that food, you can do something like just picky tray items, or you can do something where it's a meal, fork and knife.
Yes, absolutely. We've had in the past people do steak meals for their clients, and that's always a big hit. And we will cook the steaks right there for you.
That's pretty neat. So very convenient. Again, it's Sand Springs Catering. You can call and get any information you need. We'll see you next week on SSPTV News.
Here's the green screen. Check your midday winning lottery numbers right now. When we come back, sports commentary with Dave Seaman from the Hazelton Standard Speaker.
Time now for sports on SSPTV News.
Hey everyone, it's a great day of the week. It's Dave Day as we spend more time getting some sports commentary from the Standard Speaker sports editor, Dave Seaman. Dave, I like the shirt. I like orange. That's my favorite color, so thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, let's get started. Emily's, speaking of orange, over in Weatherly, the Wreckers. Yeah, how about it? Emily Zoshin, first ever gold medalist, first ever person to win a gold medal at Weatherly in track and field. She's only a sophomore, I think, Dave, so that's very incredible. Steve Stallone had a great article when she won the District 11 championship. She said, this has been like my whole goal all year. My coach, Jonathan Kiddish, passed away last summer, and then I just trained 10 times harder because I knew this was my main goal for him. I knew I had to do this for him. I am just really happy I won. So a great story there, Dave, for her, for the school, and you said Steve is going to have much more as we approach states because she'll be out there.
Yeah, definitely. It's quite an accomplishment for Emily and her school. She puts a lot of time into her track. She's also an outstanding basketball player, but as a runner in a cross-country season, she did very, very well. And when she got into the track this spring, and it's tough too. It's like we talk about the Marion swimmers at times. You're competing with other teams. You don't have a team per se. You're with some athletes in your school that you get to go to different meets, and you get to stay in shape that way, and let's stay limbered up as far as competition goes. But for Emily to do that and keep her mind focused and her heart and her drive, and it's quite an accomplishment.
So we'll keep an eye out for her at the state track and field meet. And then last week we talked about the District 2 qualifiers. Here's some of the District 11 ones. Monica Shimko from Tamaqua. She'll be running for Army West Point next year. She is looking good heading into the 800 run championship. She was 8th in the event last year. Marion's Brenna Carnish will be competing in 2 throwing events, and there are 2 girls relay teams from Marion as well competing. Dave, the Hazelton Area High School softball team, they've made it back to the sub-regional championship. Offense explodes in their game with Scranton, but also pitcher Erica Book only no walks in that game and struck out 2 batters, so she's looking good. Always good to get good pitching right now, but according to Steve Stallone's article, now they have to battle trying to stay sharp as you have a week break.
Yeah, it's kind of unusual that you have this much time between your semifinal game and your final game. But I know Coach Heather Nat, and she's going to, keep the team focused and fresh. They've hit all year, so I don't think hitting is going to be the problem. Defensively, they've been very, very sound. If a team hits the ball against them, they're usually going to make plays. Just the case, where those hits land sometimes. But they'll be battle tested. They'll be ready to go. They had a lot of close games at the end of the season too to prepare for the district playoffs and beyond. A lot of the girls have played last year when they made that state playoff run last year. So there's experience there, and then the newcomers too. They have a world of experience on the travel ball circuit. So those kids have played on a lot of competitive softball.
You're not worried about Russ. This is a very, very experienced team. MMI, the Preppers, they're moving on to the District 2 Single A championship game. Now this is in the District 2/11 sub-regional. So if they win there, they'll go to the sub-regional championship. Winner will go to states, but they will take on Forest City from the Lackawanna League. And the Preppers, Dave, they've been looking. They said they got the killer instinct in the article in the Standard Speaker in that game, and their victory in kind of, I guess, the semifinals to move on to the final in District 2, but it's all crazy in the sub-region.
It's definitely crazy. It's a new experience for them all, but Coach Sean McLaughlin said that at the beginning of the season. you know, they're a smaller school, no doubt, when they play against the other teams in their conference during the season. So they're going to be challenged throughout the season. The record might not indicate how good of a team MMI might have. You only hope, as Joe Flanagan always says during the basketball season, that you get better during the season. You use your non-league schedule and your league schedule to get you ready for the end of the season, and that's what MMI has done. They've won 4 of the last 5 games, getting ready for playoffs, beating the teams at their level. They've beaten Weatherly, they've beaten Lincoln Leadership now, and beat them handily. Now you play another team on your level, Forest City, you win that game, you win the district championship, and like you said, you get into a sub-regional final, and who knows, you win that game and you get in the state tournament, and a successful season.
And what's also really nice, hey, you want to win that district championship game, but they're going to get to play at PNC Field, which is a great place to be, so that's a nice reward, too, for all that they've accomplished. Dave, let's finish with the NBA. I'm not the biggest NBA guy, but I know the Golden State Warriors running wild right now like the Ultimate Warrior did back in his WWE days, just going crazy. 12-0 to the NBA Finals. I think first team to do that. My question to you, and I don't know if you can answer it, the Celtics or the Cavs, can they possibly stop them, or is this just Golden State making up for last year? Because I'm sure they're a little angry about what happened.
I think so, and don't forget they have Kevin Durant, too. They didn't have Kevin Durant last year, too. So Warriors, I think, are on a little bit of a mission this year. And people forget they won the championship 2 years ago, and were up 3-1 on the Cavs last year, too, before losing that series. I'm sure a certain guy from Cleveland's going to have something to say about that, because LeBron James, he's on a mission, too, just to win every game that he plays.
I hear he's having good playoffs, too.
He is until the fourth quarter the other day, but let's not hold that against him, because he's the best player in the game, and he willed the Cavs to the title last year, and he'd like nothing better than to derail the Warriors this year.
All right, well, Dave, thank you so much. And as we have so much coming up in local sports and national sports, make sure you're checking out the Standard Speaker every day. And, of course, stay tuned here on SSPTV News.
Good evening, everyone. Here's tonight's Talk of the Town. Happy 16th birthday to Dimitri Retfort. Love your mom, dad, and Adriana. The Sperry Trust Lutheran Home Care and Hospice is looking for volunteers to join their hospice team. Volunteers will visit sick clients, give a helping hand, be a good listener, reassure everyone with kind words, and help with office work. If anyone is interested, call Kathy Sweeney, the volunteer coordinator, at 570-459-6778. The Hazleton Public Transit will be closed for Memorial Day on Monday, May 29th. There will be no bus services and offices will be closed. If anyone has any questions, contact Ralph Sharp at 570-459-5414. The PennDOT driver's license and photo centers will also be closed for the Memorial Day holiday on Saturday, May 27th and Monday, May 29th. They will reopen on Tuesday, May 30th. Customers can visit www.dmv.pa.gov. SSPTV News would like to send our sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Melissa A. Molinaro, Hazleton. Mass will be Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Queen of Heaven Parish at Our Lady of Grace Church in Hazleton. Friends may call Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Harmon Funeral Home. Gladys Vach, Hazleton. The Harmon Funeral Home will announce the arrangements.
Eagle Rock Resort is helping horses who need loving homes. We'll tell you all about it tomorrow. That story and so much more. I'll see you then. Take it easy, everyone.
Watch us online anytime at ssptv.com and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.